Can these super futuristic high-tech recovery boots actually help me train? I'm Owen Poole, welcome to Prove It. These cool looking depending on who you ask, boots is a collaboration between Hyperice, which is a company that specializes in all kinds of athletic recovery products, and Nike, you know, the world's most famous shoe company. They introduced these at CES last year, making all kinds of promises to help athletes warm up better, recover better, and train better. They do have quite a few endorsements from professional athletes like Olympic sprinter Hyperice Richardson and Washington quarterback Jaden Daniels. Now, I am obviously on a completely different athletic planet from those two, but I do run a lot. I ran my first marathon last year. I'm planning another one soon, and I wanted to find out, can these boots actually help someone like me? Hyperice did send me these boots so I could test them out, but under no condition that I say nice things about them. Let's start with the first thing they're supposed to do, which is help you warm up. Now, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I am a real slacker when it comes to warming up. Usually when I go on a run, I'll just run the first half mile a little bit slower. Maybe I'll do some dynamic stretching if I'm sore from a previous workout. But with the Hyper boots, all you're supposed to do is just put them on, make sure the Velcro straps are tight, turn on the power, and let them do their thing. These use a combination of heat and compression that you can control with buttons on the sides, or you can hook it up to the Hyperice mobile app for much more precise controls. Having used the app, I think it is really nice, super easy to connect, highly recommend. According to Hyperice, the combination of heat and compression will relax your muscles, get them primed for activity, especially your Achilles tendon, and it'll increase your blood flow. And this uses a bunch of heating elements inside with some air bladders that will fill up to provide that compression and heat. And I think it is pretty impressive that they managed to fit all that tech in such a small package. The temperature ranges from 111 degrees Fahrenheit to 125. I found that if I put these things on the max heat, it was kind of unbearably hot, so your mileage may vary there. As far as compression goes, it ranges from 50 millimeters of mercury to 210. I have no idea what that means except that it measures compression. If you take 210 mmHg and turn it into PSI, equals about 4. When you put these boots on and you turn them on, it really wraps around your entire foot, heel, and Achilles. And honestly, it just feels really, really nice. I have found myself just wanting to wear these around the house, especially with just the heat on, just because it feels really good. But feeling good isn't the point of these things. They're supposed to help you warm up. Does it actually do it? In my several weeks of testing with the Hyper boots, I've found that the answer is definitively yes, and I have data to back it up. Even my first time out after wearing these for one 15-minute session, my body just felt better. My feet felt better, my ankles felt better, even up in my calves felt a little better, which the boots don't actually cover. Just looking at these two runs side by side, on one run I didn't wear the boots to warm up, and one that I did. On the one that I didn't, it took me almost about 4 minutes to reach my average heart rate for that run. And then the one where I did wear the boots took about half the time. Obviously, this isn't the most scientific thing in the world. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I think that that shows a pretty clear warm-up benefit for the Hyper boots. And that's even without the data. There's a very subjective thing that I feel good after wearing these, but with that data, I think we can say we definitively proved it. But what about the other big thing it's supposed to do? Help you recover. Now, my Garmin watch does have a recovery metric. It takes into account the amount of activity I'm doing, my heart rate variability, and how well I've been sleeping to show me how many hours I need to recover. Now, wearing the boots did not make any impact on that metric. I didn't think it would, but it was worth checking. So there's no hard data I can find that is going to prove definitively that these things help with recovery, but with my own subjective experience, I think they really do. Wearing them for one 15-minute session after my runs just makes my legs and feet feel better. And having ran my first marathon last year, so much of training is putting in the miles day after day when you really don't feel like doing it. And if there's anything that can make you feel even 10 to 20% better, then that's gonna help you put those miles in. Even though I don't have any hard data like with warm-ups that show that these help with recovery, after wearing them almost every time after a run for at least 15 minutes, my body feels better, and I think I can say that it does help with recovery. And then let's talk about the third thing these boots are supposed to do, which is just overall help with training. Obviously, warm-up and recovery are two huge factors of training, but there are a few other things to consider. One thing is that the design of these things make them really easy to wear around. Obviously, I am outside at a fitness court, and with a lot of other compression products, you wouldn't be able to do that. And because of the compact size, I was initially anticipating kind of poor battery life. And when I first started testing them, that was my experience, but I think I just wasn't charging them all the way. I had them die on me once or twice during the recovery session. For the video, I just decided I am going to charge these fully and wear them until they die. and I got about 90 minutes in before my feet actually started to get somewhat uncomfortable and I had to take them off. That was on the medium setting for both. According to Hyperice, if you had them on high for heat and compression, it should last about an hour and a half, which means you should be able to get at least 4 sessions out of these without having to charge them. Unfortunately, charging them is a bit of a hassle. You have to charge them individually because they both have individual batteries. I don't really see any way around that. One thing I would like is just clearer battery indications on the side of the boot. Even in the mobile app, it doesn't give you a clear battery percentage. I could see a scenario where someone is using these, they think they're charged, but they're not all the way charged, and then they get to the gym and they die on them. But if you just make sure you plug them in when you're done with your recovery session, you shouldn't have any issue. So do these help with training? I say yes. The warm-up and recovery benefits are awesome, and because of their design, you can really take them on the go and get the most out of them. Is it gonna turn you into a pro-level athlete? Of course not. But if you are serious about your sport, you can probably gain some benefit from wearing these things. The last thing I want to mention is the price of these. These do cost $900. But considering what Nike's top-level marathon racing shoes cost, the Alphafly 3s, maybe $900 for these things isn't so crazy. I think we did prove that the Hyperboots do what they say they do. I really like them, and if you're some kind of athlete, I think you probably will too. If you found this video helpful or interesting, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that a lot. And that's going to do it for me. This is Owen. I'll see you in the next video.